Bimi, 22, female studying gender studies, at State University, active in body positivity movement, since freshman year constantly posting about how society is shallow, and looks don't matter, especially hate how men are visual creatures, and judge women always ranting to my roommate Sarah about toxic masculinity, MFW. I think all men are basically the same shallow jerks one day. Scrolling through body positivity, hashtags, see post about girl who made fake male profile to expose dating apps. Lightbulb moment, decide to conduct my own social experiment. Gonna prove that men are hypocrites about looks. Plan to make overweight male profile and document the inevitable flood of matches. We'll show everyone that men have it so much easier in dating. Spend 3 hours researching plus-size male stock photos. Find perfect candidate. Friendly looking guy, maybe 280 pounds brown hair, genuine smile, looks approachable. Create profile. Marcus, 24, works in IT support. Write bio. Love hiking at my own pace. Cooking. Movie nights, looking for genuine connection. Add interests, photography, board games, craft beer. Make him sound like perfect boyfriend material. This is going to be easy. Post on my story. Conducting important research about dating inequality. Friends immediately start commenting supportive messages. Roommate Sarah thinks it's brilliant. You're going to expose so much hypocrisy anon, feeling pretty smug about my genius. Plan launch profile on Tuesday evening. Set radius to 25 miles. Age range 20 to 28. Start swiping right on everyone. See all these gorgeous girls confident they'll match with sweet Marcus after all. Personality matters more than looks, right? Wednesday morning, check app. Excitedly, 0 matches, must be algorithm lag or something. Keep swiping right on more profiles. Cute brunette who loves hiking. Perfect match for Marcus blonde girl who's into board games. She'll definitely swipe right, artsy photographer type. Marcus loves photography too. This is taking longer than expected, but whatever, Wednesday evening, still 0 matches. Getting slightly concerned, maybe the photos aren't good enough? Spend 2 hours finding better pictures, update bio to be even more charming. Marcus, 24, your future Netflix binge partner. Great cook, even better listener. Love long walks and longer conversations. This has to work now Thursday. Still nothing starting to feel weird about this vent to Sarah. Maybe the app is broken or something. She suggests expanding the radius, set it to 50 miles. Swipe right on literally everyone for 2 hours straight. Must have gone through 200 plus profiles. Surely someone will match. Friday comes and goes, still 0 matches. This isn't making sense. Marcus is such a catch. Funny, employed, interests, hobbies. Everything my feminist theory classes say. Women want start questioning if there's something wrong with the profile weekend arrives. Getting desperate expand radius to 75 miles. Change photos again, make bio even more appealing. Marcus, 24, looking for my person. Love cooking for others. Amateur photographer, board game enthusiast. Believe in treating people with kindness and respect. Looking for real connection, not just hookups. Literally perfect boyfriend material, how is no one matching? Sunday night, week almost over, still absolutely nothing. 0 matches, 0 likes, 0 anything. Starting to feel genuinely confused, this wasn't supposed to happen. Men are supposed to have it easy. They're the ones with privilege in dating. What am I missing here? Monday morning, exactly 1 week later. Final check before admitting defeat notification pops up, heart racing. Finally a match. Click on it excitedly. It's a bot trying to sell premium Snapchat. Are you kidding me? The only match after a week is spam. Sit in my dorm room staring at the phone, feeling something I wasn't prepared for, this hollow, rejected feeling. And I'm not even the one being rejected. It's just an experiment. But Marcus is being rejected. Sweet, kind, employed. Interesting. Marcus getting absolutely nothing. Think about my own dating life, made my own profile. 6 months ago, got 47 matches in the first day, had to turn off notifications because phone kept buzzing, guys constantly messaging, asking me out, always complaining to friends about having too many options. MFW. I realize I'm part of the problem. Sarah comes back from class. How's your experiment going? Show her the complete emptiness. She looks genuinely shocked. That can't be right. Maybe try different photos. Explain that I already tried everything, multiple photo sets, different bios, expanded radius. Marcus has gotten literally zero human. Interest that night, can't sleep. Keep thinking about all the profiles I swiped past, hundreds of guys who probably felt exactly like this, getting ignored, rejected, dismissed, never even getting a chance to show their personality. My feminist theory. Suddenly feeling incomplete. Remember all the times I complained about men being shallow. But I just spent a week watching women do exactly the same thing. Maybe even worse. At least some men swipe. Right? Occasionally, Marcus got literally nothing. Not even a pity match. Tuesday morning, delete the profile, can't handle seeing that empty inbox anymore. Feels too real now. Like I actually am. Marcus getting rejected by everyone. This wasn't supposed to affect me emotionally. It was just supposed to prove a point. But what point did it actually prove? Text my friend Emma, who's always talking about dating. Hey, random question. How often do you swipe right on guys? Maybe like 1 in 50. I'm super picky, lol. What about guys who are overweight but seem nice? Honestly, Anon, physical attraction matters. I know that sounds shallow, but don't even finish reading her response. Everything's starting to click into place. Think about every body positivity post I've ever made. Real women have curves, beauty comes in all sizes, personality matters most. But when it came time to actually practice what I preach, I watched hundreds of women reject Marcus without even reading his bio, and I felt disappointed in them. Which makes me a massive hypocrite realize I need to dig deeper into this. If men really do have it harder in dating, then everything I thought I knew about gender dynamics might be wrong, or at least incomplete. Time to find out just how deep this rabbit hole goes. Spend next few days researching. Dating statistics, turns out women swipe right on 4 to 5% of male profiles. Men swipe right on 50 to 60% of female profiles. Average guy gets maybe 1 to 2 matches per week. Average girl gets 50 plus matches per week. This is completely backwards from what I believed. Decide to talk to actual guys about their experiences. Start with my lab partner Jake from chemistry class. Decent looking guy, funny, pre-med student, always seemed confident, so figured he was slaying on apps. Hey Jake, random question, how's dating going for you? His face immediately changes. Not great, honestly. Why? Probe deeper. Like, you seem like a catch. Girls must be all over you. He laughs bitterly. Anon, I haven't had a date in 8 months. I match with maybe 1 girl every 2 weeks if I'm lucky. And half of them don't even respond to messages, mind officially blown. Jake's a future doctor, funny, smart, decent looking, tall if he's struggling this much. What about everyone else? Ask him about his friends' experiences. Dude, it's brutal out there. My roommate Mike hasn't been on a date in over a year. And he's a good guy, works out, has hobbies, everything. Starting to see a pattern here that weekend at house party, decide to survey more guys. Find David from my economics class, decent guy, plays guitar, studying business, always posts funny memes, seems socially competent. David, can I ask about your dating life? He nearly chokes on his drink. What dating life? Turns out David has been single for 2 years, not by choice, gets maybe 1 match per month. Conversations die out constantly. Girls have so many options they just move on immediately. I'll be having what seems like a good conversation. Then suddenly radio silence, probably found someone better looking, talk to 5 more guys at the party. Similar stories across the board, months between dates. Constant rejection, getting ignored or ghosted regularly, Even the attractive guys struggling, starting to feel genuinely bad about this Monday morning. Can't focus in gender studies. Class professor talking about male privilege in dating. Men have historically held power in romantic relationships. They get to be the choosers, while women wait to be chosen. Raise my hand hesitantly. But what about modern dating apps? Aren't women the choosers now? Professor looks annoyed. Dating apps are still dominated by male gaze and objectification. Women face harassment and unwanted sexual attention? Fair points, but feels like half the story. What about the guys getting completely ignored? Decide not to push it in class after class. Approach my friend Madison. She's always complaining about guys on dating apps. Madison, how many matches do you usually have? Ugh, too many, like 500 in my queue. I only talk to maybe 10 of them, and only meet up with like 2, do the math in my head. That's a 0.4% success rate for guys matching with her. Ask more pointed question, what makes you swipe right on someone? Honestly, they have to be really hot. Like model tier attractive. I know that sounds shallow, but I have so many options there. It is the brutal honesty I needed to hear. Madison continues, plus they need to be tall, good job, funny in their bio, basically perfect in every way. Because why settle when you can have anyone? Realize she's describing maybe 1% of male population. What about the other 99%? That night, create fake female profile as control experiment use, average looking photos of girl from stock images. Basic bio. Emily, 22, psychology student, love, coffee, and hiking. Launch it and go to sleep. Wake up to 73 matches, inbox completely flooded with messages. Guys writing paragraphs, trying to start conversations. Compare this to Marcus's experience. Same time, investment, same age range. Marcus, 0 matches in a week. Emily, 73 matches in 8 hours. The disparity is insane. This completely destroys my worldview. Read through Emily's messages. Guys actually putting in effort. Hey Emily, I noticed you like hiking. I just got back from this amazing trail. Saw you're studying psychology. I'm fascinated by cognitive behavioral therapy. These aren't low-effort pickup lines. They're genuine attempts at connection compared to messages girls send to guys. Remember Jake mentioning most girls just say, hey, decide to test this theory, make another male profile. This time, use conventionally, attractive photos. Brad, 23, fitness instructor. Perfect jawline launch profile and wait. Brad gets 12 matches. First day, not bad. Compared to Marcus's 0, but messages from girls are mostly, hey, sup, nice pics. 0 effort compared to what guys send. Girls expect guys to carry entire conversation. Meanwhile, Emily has guys writing novels, asking thoughtful questions, making jokes, suggesting specific date ideas, putting their whole personality on display. Just hoping for a response, delete all the fake profiles. Feeling genuinely disturbed by what I discovered. Sit in my room, processing everything, think about every time I complained about male privilege. Meanwhile, guys are jumping through insane hoops just for basic acknowledgement. Remember conversation with my mom last month. She was talking about dating in the 80s. Guys had to work so hard to impress girls back then. Take us on nice dates, bring flowers, be gentlemen. But at least if you were a decent guy, you could find someone. Now decent guys can't even get notice text. Jake, hey, sorry for weird question before. Dating stuff is really rough, huh? He responds immediately. Yeah, it's honestly depressing. Feel like I'm not good enough for anyone. Starting to affect my self-esteem pretty badly. Realize this isn't just about dating. This is about guys' mental health. Ask Jake if he wants to talk about it more. Meet up at campus coffee shop next day. He opens up about how rejection affects him. I've started wondering if there's something wrong with me. Like, fundamentally broken. I'm getting my degree, I work out, I have friends, but apparently I'm not worth a single date, Jake continues. My confidence is shot. I used to be outgoing. Now I second guess everything I say to women, afraid they'll think I'm creepy or desperate. Never considered how constant rejection might change someone's personality, making confident guys insecure and withdrawn. Ask about his friend Mike, who hasn't dated in a year. Mike's gotten really depressed about it, stopped trying altogether, just plays video games, and works now. Says dating isn't worth the emotional damage. This is getting dark, starting to see bigger picture spend evening, reading forums about male dating experiences, thread after thread of guys sharing similar stories, years without dates, constant rejection, growing social anxiety, some developing actual depression. Meanwhile, I've been focused on how men objectify. Women realize I've been looking at this completely backwards. Yes, women face harassment and unwanted attention, but men face something arguably worse: complete invisibility and constant rejection, which is worse, bad attention or no attention. Starting to think it might be the latter. Think about my own dating experience again. 47 matches first day. Guys constantly asking me out, complaining about having too many options. Meanwhile, Marcus couldn't get a single human to acknowledge his existence. The privilege gap is massive. Just in the opposite direction, I thought, wake up Thursday morning with complete mental shift. Everything I believed about dating dynamics was wrong. Spend morning in bed, just processing this revelation. Roommate Sarah notices I'm being weird. Anon, what's wrong? You've been quiet for days. Don't even know where to start explaining. Decide to come clean about the whole experiment. Tell Sarah everything. Marcus, Emily, Brad, all of it. Her face goes through same journey. Mine did denial, confusion, then slowly dawning realization. Wait, so guys actually have it harder? Like significantly harder. Nod grimly, Sarah starts questioning her own behavior. Oh God, I'm part of the problem, aren't I? I have like 300 matches I never respond to. Guys writing these long, thoughtful messages. And I just ignore them because they're not perfect tens. Exactly what I went through. The guilt is real. Spend weekend having deep conversations with more male friends, each story more depressing than the last. Tom from philosophy class hasn't been on date in 18 months. Alex from study group. Girl stood him up twice. He still apologized. Kevin from work. Spent $200 on first date. Got ghosted immediately after every single guy has horror stories. Start paying attention to how guys act around campus. Notice things I never saw before. How they light up when girls actually talk to them. How carefully they navigate conversations with women. Constant fear of being labeled creepy or weird. Walking on eggshells just to exist in female spaces. Remember all the times I complained about guys approaching me. Ugh, this creep tried to talk to me at the library. Some loser asked for my number at Starbucks. Now realizing those creeps and losers were probably just lonely guys shooting their shot, facing 99% rejection rate. And I was part of that 99% Monday in gender studies class. Again, professor talking about toxic masculinity. How men need to show more vulnerability and emotion, raise hand again. But what if men are already vulnerable? What if dating apps make them feel worthless? Professor dismisses question. Men created these systems. They need to deal with consequences. After class approach. Professor directly Dr. Martinez, been teaching gender studies for 15 years, explain my experiment and findings. She listens but seems skeptical. Anon, you're focusing on surface-level dating metrics. Men still hold institutional power in relationships. But what good is institutional power if you can't get a relationship? Dr. Martinez continues, women have faced centuries of objectification. Having dating preferences isn't the same as oppression. Technically true, but feels like missing the point. Individual men today aren't responsible for centuries of history. They're just trying to find connection like everyone else that evening. Create one final experiment. Make profile for average guy, not overweight, like Marcus, not model tier like Brad. just completely normal looking dude. Tyler, 23, accounting major, plays intramural soccer bio. Looking for someone to explore the city with. Tyler gets 3 matches in 2 weeks. 2 don't respond to messages. Third one, Jessica, actually talks. Conversation goes well. For 3 days, she seems interested. Laughing at Tyler's jokes, asks her out for coffee. Sorry, I'm actually talking to someone else now. Blocks Tyler, immediately sit there staring at phone. Feel actual heartbreak for fictional Tyler. If this is affecting me emotionally, how must real guys feel going through this? Daily, constant hope, followed by crushing disappointment for years on end text, Jake. Want to grab lunch tomorrow? Need to apologize for something? Meet him at campus dining hall. Explain everything about my experiment. How it completely changed my perspective. Apologize for every time I dismissed male dating struggles. Jake looks genuinely surprised. I can't believe you actually did that research. Most people just tell us to be more confident or work on yourself, like we haven't been trying that for years. Realize how patronizing that advice must sound. Ask Jake what he wants women to understand, that rejection hurts us too. We're not emotionless robots. Every swipe left, every ignored message, it chips away at your self-worth. After a while, you start believing you're genuinely unlovable. This hits harder than expected. Jake continues, also that we're not all looking for hookups. Most of us just want what you want. Companionship, emotional connection, someone to share life with. But we get lumped in with the worst guys. Treated like we're all predators until proven otherwise. Never. Thought about dating from this angle. Spend next week observing social dynamics differently. Party on Friday night. Watch guys approaching girls. See the immediate defensive body language from women. Guys having to prove they're safe before basic conversation. Meanwhile, girls can approach anyone without suspicion. Another invisible privilege. I never noticed girl named Ashley complaining loudly. Ugh, guys are so thirsty. This creep liked all my photos. Look at her phone guy, just liked 4 photos and sent friendly message. Hey Ashley, love your hiking pics, what trail is that? Nothing creepy about it, just showing interest in her hobbies, but labeled as thirsty creep. Start defending guys in conversations. Friends think I've lost my mind. Anon, why are you suddenly on men's side? Did some guy get to you? Explain it's not about taking sides, it's about recognizing reality. Dating. Privilege flows in opposite direction than we thought. Madison gets defensive. So what? I should lower my standards. Settle for guys I'm not attracted to. Not asking anyone to lower standards, just acknowledge the massive disparity. Maybe show some empathy for rejected guys. They're human beings with feelings too. Realize my entire feminist framework was incomplete. Focus so much on female disadvantages, ignored. Male disadvantages completely. Both genders face different challenges. Women, harassment, objectification, safety concerns. Men, invisibility, constant rejection, emotional isolation. Start reading about male mental health statistics. Suicide rates 3 times higher than women, depression often undiagnosed because men don't seek help. Social isolation, becoming epidemic dating struggles, definitely contributing factor when society tells men to be vulnerable but punishes them for showing vulnerability. Think about all the body positive content I shared. Love yourself first. You don't need validation from others. Real women have curves. But what about real men? Why don't we celebrate average looking guys? Why is male body positivity non-existent? Create post on social media. After some research, I realized dating privilege isn't what I thought. Maybe we should show more empathy for guys struggling with dating. Immediate backlash from female friends, pick-me behavior, internalized misogyny. Men don't need more sympathy. Delete the post after an hour, not ready to deal with social consequences, but privately, my perspective has permanently shifted. Can't unsee what I've learned. Men and women both deserve empathy and understanding. Dating is brutal for everyone in different ways. Final conversation with Jake 2 weeks later. Hey, thanks for being honest about male experiences. Most girls just dismiss us or tell us we're wrong about our own lives. Means a lot that someone actually listened. Realize listening is free costs, nothing to acknowledge someone's struggles. Jake adds, funny thing is, having this conversation made me feel more hopeful. Knowing that some women understand what we go through makes the rejection hurt less. Somehow, like we're not completely invisible, simple human recognition making real difference 3 months later. Completely different persons still believe in gender equality, but now understand it's more complex than oppressor, oppressed. Both men and women face unique challenges. Empathy shouldn't be rationed based on gender. Everyone deserves to have their struggles acknowledged, changed. How I interact with guys, actually respond to friendly messages, give genuine compliments, treat them like human beings instead of potential threats. Small actions, but they matter, seeing immediate positive impact. Sarah notices the change. You seem happier lately, more balanced somehow. Explain that dropping the US V's, them mentality was liberating, no longer carrying anger toward entire gender, focusing on individual character. Instead, relationships with male friends, much healthier. Still advocate for women's rights, but now include men's issues too. Mental health, dating struggles, emotional isolation. Turns out, you can care about both. Simultaneously, equality means recognizing everyone's humanity, not competing over who has it worse. Final realization privilege is contextual. Women have advantages in some areas. Dating, social support, emotional expression. Men have advantages in others. Career, advancement, physical safety, financial expectations. Acknowledging male struggles doesn't erase female ones, and vice versa. Marcus taught me more about empathy in 1 week than 4 years of gender studies classes. Sometimes you need to walk in someone's shoes, even if those shoes are digital, even if that someone doesn't technically exist. The experience was real enough. TFW when fake fat guy profile breaks your entire worldview and somehow makes you a better person. Thanks, Marcus, you magnificent bastard. You showed me what real equality looks like. It's not about keeping score. It's about seeing everyone's struggles as valid and treating each other with basic human decency. Be me, former body positivity advocate, now just human being who believes in treating people well, regardless of gender, looks, or dating. Success, turns out that's what equality actually means. Who would have thought MFW the real body positivity was the empathy we learned along the way?